Welcome back to Learn Economia. Here, as in the case of every other videos, here also we will consider a new topic, which is the principle of maximum social advantage. This is considered to be an important topic in the arena of public finance. So let's deal with the topic. It was Professor Dalton and Professor A.C. Pigou who were considered to be the two prominent economists in the arena of public finance. So these people are actually responsible for familiarizing and popularizing the formulating and popularizing the fundamental principle of public finance, especially when it comes to the principle of maximum social advantage. Now, when Dalton considered it as the principle of maximum social advantage, Pigou called it as the principle of maximum aggregate welfare. Okay. Now, what is the crux of this? This principle actually says that the optimum social welfare happens as a result of the transfer of resources by the state as a result of its various operations, and when this lead to maximization of welfare of the community. This is a crux of the principle of optimal social welfare, which is understood by Dalton as the principle of maximum social advantage, and understood by Pigou as the principle of maximum aggregate welfare. Okay. Let's understand the theory in detail. The principle of maximum social advantage is considered to be the fundamental principle of public finance, and this principle states that the public finance leads to economic welfare or economic well-being when the public expenditure and taxation are carried up to a point where the benefits derived from the marginal utility of expenditure made by the government is equal to the marginal disutility or sacrifice made by the government as a result of taxation. So, from the very definition itself, it could be understood that there are two aspects that have to be given importance when it comes to the principle of maximum social advantage, and these are: first one is the marginal social sacrifice, which is understood in terms of the sacrifice imposed on people as a result of the taxation imposed by the government, and second is the marginal social benefits, that is the benefits received by the people as a result of the expenditure incurred by the government. Now, let's understand the assumptions of the model or assumptions of the principle. So first is that all taxes result in sacrifice and all public expenditure lead to benefits. So this is the first assumption that you have to understand. So here we are not differentiating taxes and expenditure, but we consider that all taxes are sacrifices and all public expenditures are benefits. Okay, now the second assumption is that the public revenue consists of only taxes and no other source of income to the government. That is, only source of revenue to the government is taxes. We are not concerned about the other sources of government revenue. Now the third assumption is that the government has no surplus nor deficit but only balanced budget. That is that the government's expenditure equals its revenue. This is what we are assuming while we deal with the principle of maximum social advantage. Now the fourth assumption is that public expenditure is subject to diminishing marginal social benefit and taxes are subject to increasing marginal social sacrifice. So this is one of the very important assumptions. So here the first thing is that it is public expenditure, that is the expenditure incurred by the government to finance various projects for the well-being of the public. So this is subject to diminishing marginal social benefit, that is, with each unit of additional expenditure incurred by the government, the marginal social benefit would be diminishing. That's it. Now coming to the taxes, which are subject to the increasing marginal social sacrifice, that is with each additional unit of taxation or with each addition made to taxes or taxation, what happens is that the marginal social sacrifice, the addition made to the sacrifice by the people, or addition made to the sacrifice of the people increase. So the last assumption is very important. You have to understand the difference between the diminishing marginal social benefit and increasing marginal social sacrifice. This is very important. Now let's understand in detail what marginal social sacrifice is. Okay, Marginal social sacrifice actually refers to the amount of social sacrifice undergone by public as a result of imposition of any additional unit of taxation by the government. We know that every unit of tax imposed by the government would result in some kind of utility loss. And in the case of Dalton, Dalton considers that the additional burden or the marginal sacrifice which results from the additional unit of taxation, this goes on increasing. That is, the total sacrifice increases as a result of increasing rate. Now, why this happens? This is because when all taxes are imposed, the stock of money with the community diminishes. As a result of the diminishing stock of money, the marginal utility of money goes on increasing. Okay, and gradually or eventually this will lead to the every additional unit of taxation creating greater amount of impact and greater amount of sacrifice on the society, and this is the main reason why the marginal social sacrifice goes on increasing. Okay. Here you could, in the diagram, you could see how the marginal social sacrifice curve is going. It is actually a curve which is going upwards from left to right, right? And this indicates that each additional unit of taxation, with each additional unit of taxation, sacrifice also increases. That is, if you compare different points on the curve, you could understand that when the unit of taxation is OM1, the marginal social sacrifice is OAS1, and when there is an increase in taxation from OAM1 to OAM2, what happens is that the marginal social sacrifice also rises to OAS2 from OAS1, right? Now let's see what marginal social benefit is. It says that with the imposition of tax puts burden on the people, public expenditure confers benefits, right? Now, the benefit received by the society with the additional unit of public expenditure is known as the marginal social benefit. And as in the case of the marginal utility, from a commodity to the consumer declines as more and more units of the commodity are purchased or consumed by the people. The social benefit from each additional unit of public expenditure also declines as more and more units of public expenditure are spent by the government. Okay. Now, in the very beginning, you could see the unit of public expenditure is spent on to the essential activities only. But gradually what happens is that subsequent doses of public expenditure is spent on less and less important social activities, and as a result of this, the curve of the marginal social benefit slopes downward from left to right. This is the slope, this is a curve. This is a graphical representation of the marginal social benefit, and as you could see from the figure, it is a curve which slopes downward from left to right, which indicates that the social benefit derived after public expenditure is reducing at a diminishing rate. And if you look at different points, you could see that when the public expenditure was OM1, the marginal social benefit was OB1. But when the public expenditure was OM2, the marginal social benefit is actually reduced to OB2. That's it. Now, like having understood the difference between the marginal social benefit and marginal social cost, let's understand the point of maximum social advantage. Now, the social advantage or social advantage or welfare or well-being, this is maximized at a point where the marginal social sacrifice or the marginal social cost curve cuts the marginal social benefit curve. So this is actually at point P. Here you could see that the marginal social cost or social sacrifice, which is upward sloping curve, and the marginal social benefit curve, which is downward sloping, it cuts at point, both these curves intersect at point B, right? So here you could see that at point P2, the marginal social sacrifice is S2Q2, and this is greater than the marginal social benefit P2Q2, right? And therefore, you could see that beyond point P, any further increase in the level of taxation and public expenditure may bring down the social advantage. And this is because each subsequent unit of additional taxation will increase the marginal disutility or sacrifice, which will be more than the marginal utility or social benefit. This shows that the maximum social advantage is attained at point P, and this is a point where the marginal social benefit of public expenditure and the marginal social sacrifice as a result of taxation become equal. Now, from this we could conclude that the maximum social advantage is achieved at the point where the marginal social benefit and marginal social sacrifice or cost are equal. This is mainly to obtain the marginal social advantage. The public expenditure should be carried out to a point where the marginal social cost of the last rupee or dollar spent becomes or equal to the marginal social sacrifice or cost of the last rupee spent or the dollar tax. So this is very important. With that, we end today's session. Please like, share, and subscribe this. Subscribe. I request you to do that. With that, we end here. Let's see you with a new video very soon. Thank you.